Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the JKWD podcast. We hope you are having a wonderful December so far. Kelvin, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm sitting here looking out the window at I should quit talking about weather. I'm in upstate New York. I'm looking at upstate New York stuff out there, but it's not snowing. And it's all right. And it's bright.
Today.
And it's lovely. And I'm sitting here. People can't see it, but I have my virtual background on here that would be one of the renditions of the future Star Trek Enterprise, I believe. Yeah. And it matches my blue and gray, whatever this thing is I've gone on. And I'm feeling like I'm in command, Captain.
Right. I am still sitting in my garage and we've had some weather this week.
Uh-huh.
It was cold and then it's warm again. So who knows?
Well, your cold isn't just like ours. Your cold is actually it might be at this point. What did it get down to?
It got down into the upper 30s.
Oh wow, we did that here. But you didn't have the snow. We did
not have snow.
I didn't have snow. I didn't have a lot of snow here. It snowed a little bit, but around me, like,
up on Tug Hill and whatever.
Yeah. They had like snow, and Buffalo had snow.
Yeah. No,
I'm still okay to live in Syracuse where I can see snow from time to time, but at the moment, I don't have to really suffer in it. I can just look out the window and go, "Oh, look. I don't have to crank up my snowblower."
Nice. Yeah. No, I had to scrape the windshield one morning and went over, scraped off my neighbor's car for him while he was standing out there warming up 4 cars.
Oh.
He was only driving one of them.
Oh, well, there you go.
But
that would have been something to see him pull out of his driveway and all 4 cars simultaneously.
Yes, that would have been something. Well, his wife took one. His wife took one. So, they at least drove 2 of them. But
there you go. So, yeah, I'm doing well. How about you?
We're doing well over here. As we're recording, I'm gearing up for a race, but that'll be in the past by the time this comes out. And be preparing for the next one in mid-January after that. So, keeping it rolling.
There you go.
Keeping it rolling. I figured if I signed up, I wouldn't do the thing that I usually do, which is run a race and then quit until,
the next race. A year from then.
So it's time to train for the next one and lose all the work I put in. But taking off.
Well, you seem to be enjoying it.
Yeah, taking off 23 pounds and
Go ahead.
And
I was thinking the beard looked a little slimmer than usual.
I don't think
wasn't covering as much space. Come up here, let me do a headshot.
Yeah, maybe when the not yet snow melts.
Okay. There you go.
Probably be up in the spring. I think there's a wedding happening in the late spring or early summer.
Okay.
Of a mutual acquaintance. So we'll see.
Okay. We'll see what that is.
And yeah. Anyway, I'm brought to you today by Vitamin K Daily. Get your daily dose of positive from the Prince of Positive himself, Kelvin P. Ringgold Sr., who's batting his eyelashes like you can see it.
Well, first of all, I don't think you should have told people I was batting my eyelashes. But then again.
But you were, so.
I was, so. Felt the breeze, didn't you? Yeah.
Wake up Monday through Friday. Email. Tells you just how wonderful your day is going to be and why. And you can get yourself 4 weeks free if you go to vitaminkdaily.com. That's vitaminkdaily.com. Get yourself 4 weeks free. Let's do the show. gonna teach you how to dominate your world. You ready? Here we go. So
Yes.
I've been getting over a stomach bug this week. Can't say my daughter never gave me anything. She
loves you so.
She likes to bring me stuff from daycare. I have naughty words to say about that, and I won't. Because I know how you like to keep these episodes clean.
I do. But apparently I'm seriously losing the battle over time and over nobody else in the nobody else in the country seems to care. So they just make anything explicit. Yes. But what the heck? I'm probably old fashioned or maybe just old.
Well, you always heard those stories about Bill Cosby calling young black comedians, telling them to stop using their language. Eddie Murphy talked about that in one of his specials.
Oh, yeah.
We found out what Bill Cosby was doing while he was keeping his language clean.
But it wasn't rated E on the public. No.
That's right.
But anyway, yeah, that hurt my feelings. But that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, I hurt everybody's feelings, right? He was America's dad.
Yep.
All of us kids growing up in the 80s, 90s, 80s. Yeah.
Fat Albert and the boys. So yes.
Cosby Show. Yeah. But while I was recovering, did lots of walking. Run when you're not eating. And while I'm walking, I like to listen to audiobooks. So, I listened this week to Atomic Habits by James Clear. And we're going to talk about that in a minute because, we were starting to talk about it a little before our recording. And as I had been avoiding it. And Range by David Epstein, which is about specialization versus generalization. And I know we've talked a little bit about that before. Do you want to be the sort of person who's really, really good and really, really deep at one thing or pretty good at a lot of different things? And, there's a need for both. I happen to enjoy the generalization thing, and I think you do too. You like to know one or two things really well, but be pretty good at a lot of things.
Dabble in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it keeps things interesting, and we're naturally curious people.
We are. So, yes.
Yeah, but Atomic Habits, I had been avoiding because in my brain it connected Atomic Habits to Atomic Bomb, which connected to Big Explosion, but I forgot, and the author makes this very evident early on that atomic means tiny. It's at the level of atoms, and it's the small changes that add up to the big changes. The example he uses when he explains the concept is an ice cube in a 25-degree room. If you have the ice cube will remain frozen if it's 25, and if you put the temperature up 1 degree to 26, nothing changes. It's still ice. If you move it up to 27, it's ice. And if you move it up to 28, it's ice. But you keep going and you cross that threshold between 32 and 33 degrees, and now it melts. And it becomes water. And you didn't need to go 25 to 33. You do it one little bit at a time. And the changes don't matter until they do. And you don't notice the change until you do.
Right. So putting in a little steps. I read that book. No, actually, I think I listened to that book when I was driving somewhere. Um, Note to self: I don't absorb well when I'm listening to a book while driving somewhere. All the interruption with traffic and stuff like that. So I need to go back and reabsorb it and and re-implement.
But it's a good reminder to not jump all in if that's not you. Right? Some people enjoy the 75 hard program. I don't know if you're familiar with this. This is a fitness and behavior program.
No.
The rules are, and you get 0 days off, or you go back to day one. 2 45-minute workouts, one of which must be outdoors. Yeah, and that can be just walking. It doesn't have to be anything intense. But 2 45-minute workouts, they can't be consecutive. One of which must be outdoors, regardless of weather. 1 gallon of water. No alcohol. Stick to a diet, no cheat days. Doesn't matter what diet you pick. And you have to read 10 pages of nonfiction. It must be nonfiction, and it must be a hard copy book.
Wow.
And
have you done it?
No. And a photo to document your changes day to day. Yes. So that's a big habit all at once. You're doing a lot of different things. And it's a mental push, right? And any one of those things is a conglomeration of small habits, right? 10 pages in a nonfiction book might be more of an atomic number. Like that might be, I'm not sure that 1 page in a nonfiction book gets you much unless it's a very, very dense book. But nobody recommends 45 minutes a day to start a workout habit, never mind 45 minutes twice a day. A 45-minute walk every day.
That's not bad.
Probably good for you. But also still difficult to implement. I think most people would start you at 20 to 30 minutes. Most doctors or personal trainers.
I had a doctor tell me once, if you if you can't walk a mile, walk whatever you can, like often.
Exactly. So they'd have you walk in 5 minutes at a time to start.
Walk back and forth to the elevator. Yeah. Walk up the stairs and down the stairs instead of
just
do something.
Move. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, nobody would start you at a gallon of water a day if you don't drink much water. They'd start you at a glass a day and ask you to up that pretty quickly, but a gallon's a lot. And I actually find that more than a couple of days at a gallon of water a day, and I get some gastric issues.
Well, with as much, I drink water too.
I drink
I need something to wash my coffee down.
I drink a lot of water, but I'm probably in the 100-ounce a day range most of the year. Yeah, I probably do over a gallon when I'm on the day of a long run, maybe the day after. And there are some days when I probably hit a gallon, but it's not every day. And I've tried it, and I've tapped out at about 17 days.
So what's Atomic Habits say about intention? I mean, when you're setting this up, you're gonna do this atomic habit. You're gonna figure this out.
Yeah, well, you've got to. Yeah, I don't want to put the words in his mouth because I don't have the notes on that, but yeah, with anything else, you have to set something intentionally and make it a SMART goal. Make it measurable, make it achievable, and make it time bound. Those are that's more of a Matt goal, but
yeah. But anyway,
but those are the key points. If you want to implement something, you implement a little something, and you don't have to implement the whole kabang, right? If you want to
just grow.
And basically his thing is build a cascading habit. So if you want to run, the trigger isn't waking up. The trigger is putting on your the trigger is putting on your running shoes, getting out the door, all that stuff. You work back to the smallest thing that launches into it. So I don't know what your path is in the morning, but if I put my running shoes next to the toilet, then I will see them in the morning, and I actually keep the clothes. I'm good at laying out my clothes the night before.
Mm-hmm.
I put them under the sink. I got a little shoebox under the sink.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I get up and I go to the bathroom and put my clothes on. Put my shoes. If my shoes are right there, I'll just put those on. If I got the running shoes on, probably going to go running, and I might leave a water bottle by the door.
Right now, I have a vision of you running out of the bathroom, out of the front door, and just going out. Keep going, Forrest. So, yeah.
But make those, make the entree into the habit as small and easy as possible. You don't need a big grand entrance or anything.
Now, did you actually read that book or did you listen to it?
I listened to it.
Audiobook? Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I don't.
So I need to.
I would rather hear him. I would rather hear him read it while I'm walking. I absorb that kind of stuff much better while I'm walking. I find that I focus well on the stuff that needs focusing on. So we all have wandering minds.
Yes.
Yeah. And I find that even if my mind has wandered, when something important is being said, I catch it. And if I didn't catch it, I caught that something important was being said and I can rewind it. But if I'm just reading the hard copy book,
mm-hmm.
and I'm not sitting there with intention, taking notes and stopping every 20 minutes or whatever, in 25 minutes, Pomodoro technique, then I wind up missing it.
Okay. Well, I'm the sit, watch, highlight, note taker guy. So I need to take some more notes because there's a couple of habits. There's a couple of habits I could use. I had some going. I used to walk daily, at least a bit, but I kind of got out of that. But there are some other habits that I'm gonna maybe let's see what I do for the incoming year, because not going to make any resolutions per se, but I can implement plans. I can start them now and carry on into the new year. I don't have to wait and start over there. You see,
that's right.
It's not a New Year's.
You don't have to wait till the You don't have to wait until that calendar flips.
That's right. That's right. So
Start today.
so Atomic Habits, yeah. I like that. I wish I had read it more recently, but it's been a while. So I'm gonna go back to that.
Yeah, I forget. I think he popped up on a podcast I was listening to recently, and I went to the library app, the library audiobook app.
Oh, forgot about that.
Saw that they had it. See, I get a lot of books that way, and I also stumble over a lot of books that way.
Just looking through.
Yeah, the recommendation engine is decent, and then they get a lot of like new books. They get a new round of books every week or so. And I'm more willing to take a risk on a borrowed something. I don't want to buy an audiobook, get an hour in and say, this is awful. I wish I hadn't spent that $16. Now I have to figure out how to return it and get my credit.
Well,
for
if
that.
you're using audible.com.
Right. Yeah, but
turn it back in within a year.
Yeah, there's still that friction of having to go back and return it and claim that credit and find something else. But I don't have to worry about that with the library. If I start listening to it and I'm like, oh, this is not for me, I can just say, okay, send it back.
There you go. Well, so you got any little atomic habits you're going to start here right quick, Mr. Shear?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I just like the idea.
Cool. Maybe by the next podcast, maybe I'll have something implemented so I can talk about it.
Good. Yeah. I mean, I see a way forward on some things. Yeah, I had this moment, while I was getting over that stomach thing. But while I had the stomach thing, I was drinking very low caffeine tea instead of coffee, and the difference between getting 20 to 30 milligrams of caffeine a day and getting 300 to 400 milligrams a day is a lot. And so the first cup of coffee I had after not having had a cup of coffee in 3-4 days was almost mind-blowing. Like I had been the first day or two you kind of a little foggy, and then like, oh, okay, well, I can deal with this new level wherever it is. And then I had a cup of coffee and it was like almost psychedelic. Not quite, but it was.
I've never had that with coffee.
But it was very. I also hadn't had a lot of food to absorb any of the chemicals, and by that time I had been listening to the David Epstein book, Range, and I've always been a proponent of generalization over specialization, and I've always liked the way that Bucky Fuller wrote about it in Operating Manual for Spaceship Earth. It's like the general pirate, kind of pulls the strings and runs everything. Needs specialists to do everything, but needs to know enough when he's getting scammed. So that's why he needs to know a little bit about everything.
Right.
So it kind of gave me a renewed insight on who I am as a learner and purveyor of information, and wanting to get back to putting pen to paper and doing more you're doing more writing and doing more learning and kind of getting out of this holding pattern that I've sort of been in while getting a handle on my health. And
Mhm.
I seem to have built healthy habits, between the running and the eating. I've been able to correct when I go a little overboard on the food.
Mhm.
I've been able to correct and get back on track with that and recognize when I'm eating for my my feelings instead of my body
Right.
and brain. So now that I've got something of a handle on that, even though I have more work to do, I feel like that habit is built. And then I'll keep that, and then I can add back in the other stuff that makes me me.
Cool.
So I don't know if that's a habit, as far as is picking up or working in Pomodoro stretches might be one thing. I don't know whether I picked that up from Atomic Habits or from something else that I was listening to recently. I don't know
I
if he
know
talks about that.
that
I don't know if he talks about that much, but
what's his name? The speed reader, the reading learner guy, Jim Quick. Is that his?
Jim Quick's a memory guy.
Yeah, but he does reading and stuff.
Okay.
So he was talking about that in and when you were reading your next book and stuff like that, using that method, 25 minutes and take a break. And,
Yeah. Yeah. 25 minutes on, take a 5 to 10 minute break, do that a few times, and then take a longer break. That way you're not.
so
That way
another
you're
book I
getting
have
that
to
little
finish.
break there.
Yeah. So stuff to think about.
Yeah. How about you? What have you been thinking about lately?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Actually, I've been doing so many things. I had a spurt where I had like a bunch of stuff come up. I had a bunch of photography stuff come up, and so getting some of that finished. But of late, really just thinking of tightening my routine a bit. I've noticed, I bought a lot of self-help stuff. Just not self-help, things to read, and I found that over the past year, I haven't made the time to absorb them. So, well, luckily, just about everything I bought, I can get back to. But then now I got a year to get back to, and hey, it's another year coming. So, what am I going to do with the new stuff, the old stuff? But right now, I'm just, it's my end of year wrap up where I'm looking at where I've been, where I want to go next year. So I'm in the process of making those.
We'll talk more about that in a few weeks.
Those plans. So because I've got someplace I want to go. So
Good.
I gotta work on a little bit of that discipline I occasionally talk about. Got to pick it up like my daughter's got it because she's been disciplined. Oh my goodness, lately. So
This the one who
I gotta catch up.
This the one who got her yoga.
Yeah.
So you still doing a class with her every now and then?
No, I haven't done a class with her every now and then. I got to get back to that, but she's doing amazing stuff while
Good.
She's also teaching high school Spanish and also teaching college courses, and also yeah, Good. She's like crazy
Good
busy.
for her.
But yeah, so she's great inspiration right now.
Awesome.
So there you go.
Sweet. Well, let's wrap it up before we babble on any further.
5 times or so. No,
thanks for being here. I think that was a Star Trek reference. Well, specifically, it was a Babylon 5 reference, whatever that is. Anyway,
yeah. But I remembered that, so I still got I got a memory on me.
Thank you for being here. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Rate, review, share this podcast, jkwdpodcast.com for show notes for this and all our other episodes, vitaminkdaily.com. Get yourself 4 weeks free. We will see you next time.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for listening. Show notes and more at jkwdpodcast.com. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share with your friends, and we will see you next week. Bye.
A Better Humanhood production.